Hi, I'm Adam, and this is week 42 of Making Dollars and Cents at the box office. This past weekend may have been topped by a film about numbers, but the numbers that mattered didn't quite add up. So let's cook the books and see what happened. It's no surprise to anyone that Ben Affleck's The Accountant took the number one spot this week with $24.7 million on a budget of $44 million. Yes, that is over the halfway mark, but with a cast like Ben Affleck, Anna Kendrick, Jeffrey Tambor, J.K. Simmons, John Lithgow, this film should have brought in more than it did. Then again, The Accountant is an action thriller in the middle of October, and even though The Girl on the Train proves that a thriller can do well for itself in October, it had more things that audiences would look for closer to Halloween. It has a mystery, some scandalous steamy sex scenes, and plenty of twists, so maybe audiences just weren't on board for another thriller quite yet. However, The Accountant has been receiving praise for his performances, especially Ben Affleck's, who's been described as an autistic superhero. Frankly, I don't really buy it, and I'd kind of rather spend my October movie-going time watching something a little spookier and more of a sure thing, rather than a scattershot action movie starring Batman. Please address your anti-Batman vs. Superman comments below for me to ignore because I love that movie. Our second newcomer, Kevin Hart's stand-up comedy blockbuster What Now, took the number 3 spot with $11.7 million on a budget of $9.9 million. Combine that box office success with the fact that this film came out of his 2015 World Tour, which sold out multiple shows including entire football stadiums, and really this is just icing on the cake for him. The What Now Tour started in April 2015, went all the way to August of 2016, visited 168 cities, sometimes had 2 shows on the same day, and is one of the biggest stand-up comedy tours of all time. I have no idea how Kevin Hart managed to pull off this giant tour and star in Ride Along 2, Secret Life of Pets, and Central Intelligence all this year, but the man's work ethic is nothing short of inspiring. And even though What Now isn't going to be anywhere near the top of the charts this coming weekend, I really don't think Kevin Hart has anything to worry about. And lastly, as I predicted last week, nobody saw Max Steel, which put it at the number 11 spot with $2.1 million and a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes. Looking ahead, we've got a big weekend coming up, which should make up for this past weekend's underwhelming numbers. Firstly, Tyler Perry takes a stab at horror comedy with Boo! A Madea Halloween, in which Madea watches one of her many relatives and has to defend the house against zombies and ghosts. And that sounds hilarious, so I might actually go see it opening night. Continuing in the horror vein, we have Ouija Origin of Evil, which is a prequel to 2014's Ouija, and looks like it's going to continue in the same vein of being a massive box office success and utterly terrible in every other way. With horror films already out this year like The Witch, and Blair Witch, and Don't Breathe, and The Conjuring 2, don't waste your time with this one. Stay home, stream one of those better ones. 2016 has been an amazing year for horror. Don't waste your money. Please. We don't need a third one. We don't. Stop them at 2. They should have been stopped at 1. But you all keep going to see stupid, dumb horror movies that are all jump scares. Stop doing it. I should stop talking about this. We should just move on. I'm sorry. But if horror really isn't your thing, Keeping Up with the Joneses is going to try to make you laugh instead. Zach Galifianakis and Isla Fisher star as a boring vanilla couple who have new neighbors, the Joneses, move in next door, played by John Hamm and Gal Gadot. And spoiler alert, they're spies. So you're going to guess that that's probably going to go pretty well. But if you want the guns without the laughs, Jack Reacher, Never Look Back, Never Going Back, Never Say Never, what's it called? Another sequel that nobody asked for but we got anyway, where the subtitle kind of sums up the audience who saw the first one. Jack Reacher, Never Go Back. Also opening this weekend is I'm Not Ashamed from the folks at PureFlix who brought us God's Not Dead and God's Not Dead 2. And yes, this looks like another film that's going to preach to the choir, but it has a bit of controversy with it this time. YouTube actually blocked the trailer for this movie for almost a year, which obviously hurt the marketing a lot, but the really concerning thing here is that Google owns YouTube, and neither of them gave a reason as to why they blocked it. Now, whether or not it's an anti-Christian sentiment that the makers of the film want you to believe or whatever, the fact that this superpower isn't giving a reason for just controlling its content is really concerning. And finally, if you're near a more artistic-minded theater, go see Moonlight from director Barry Jenkins, which is a story about a man who tries to find himself over 3 periods of his life to find the courage to come out and be who he truly is. Now, every early review of this movie has called it heartbreaking and raw and human, and that's honestly a stark contrast to a lot of the stuff we're getting in the mainstream right now. So, if you're near an art house theater, go see this movie because it's probably going to be one of the best films of the year. We'll also see a wider release of Denial, starring Rachel Weisz, Tom Wilkinson, and Timothy Spall, which tackles the subject of Holocaust denial head-on. Now, with a cast like this, tackling and bringing to life a subject this powerful, this is definitely one to watch during award season. Well, that's all for this week. There's clearly plenty to go see at the movies this weekend, so go support Film Exhibition. Get scared, maybe laugh a little bit, maybe even cry. But if you like this video, hit subscribe, comment if you want to join the conversation, and we'll see you next time on Making Dollars and Cents at the Box Office.